Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. You proceed with the
We can hear you.
Yeah. So just two questions. First is on the timelines for the greenfield facility, because we have seen a significant amount of delay there. So in terms of timelines, where are we? If you can just highlight on that front. And the second question is on inorganic front. If you can highlight what kind of inorganic opportunities you are looking at. Is it to do with similar salt-based chemistries, or that would also be helpful? Just directionally, which chemicals you are looking at, or is it not to do with chemicals? Any color on that would be helpful.
Right. Recently, first and foremost, I would say that it is good that we have started this greenfield project, and in a way, I would say that in spite of that, we were not expecting this kind of a delay. But I think it was good that we have started this process, and there are certain things which are not in your control. You will understand that, but we are vigorously pursuing this. Or this downward trend into the soda ash business is somewhere kind of is also in a way, I would say that probably is. But yes, in a timeline wise, I would say that hopefully in next few months, probably all those approvals are likely to be in place. Maybe in next few weeks, they're likely to be. We are very at the end of this thing. Probably that should happen, and then the zero date will start. So we are not much of the uncertainty now, I would say that. In terms of the new inorganic which you are talking about, mainly we are focusing more on, of course, on halogen chemistry is the area which we are exploring the possibilities. A lot of opportunities are in our radar, and we are working on that.
And sir, from the sizing perspective of the inorganic acquisition, given that you have a large greenfield capacity also lined up, how do you think about capital being deployed in the new inorganic front? What could be the quantum of that?
If I can look at recently on this angle that we are not talking about a very, very large investment into the inorganic chemical. That's number one. Second, we have this 1 million ton which we have envisaged. Okay, so 1 million up to the 500,000 ton. I think our current based on our debt equity ratio of 1:1, we will be able to manage both these things together. Because right now we have almost around 600 crores of surplus cash in the balance sheet, and plus going forward next 2 years, the sufficient cash will be generated, and then the debt, including debt, within a limit of a 1:1, we will be able to manage both inorganic as well as this. And beyond that, of course, depending upon how we are successful in organic, another 500,000 ton probably could be kind of a thinker can be done on that for 1 or 2 years till we get a cash generation. We are very clear on one thing, Reshamji. Our debt equity ratio, we will never cross more than 1:1. That's as a philosophy we agree. And both these things together up to 500,000 ton and inorganic chemical, we will be able to manage within that.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, and all the best.
Thank you. The next question is on the line of Riya Mehta from RCS. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Riya Mehta from Aquitas Investments. My first question is in regards to the volume levels. So apart from the 20,000 which was under maintenance, what kind of capacity utilization did we see for the quarter?
You see, we have, in terms of, like I said in the previous question, that if you remove this 20,000, our utilization will be in the range of around 94-95% kind of a utilization, which is a kind of a utilization which we envisage. So barring this, other than this 20,000, I think balance everything is as per the normal utilization what we have.
Got it. And Genesis Alkali is also coming with a new incremental capacity. So you think that would lead to higher imports? Or
Sorry,
higher,
can you repeat your question again?
Genesis Alkali.
You are talking about the US Genesis?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just said in the past also that the demand, if you look at in a global scenario, Ria, there is a very clear-cut demand growth of around 20 million from here, from 60 million to 78 to 80 million. So new capacity has to come in. And this is only a short period of time because of this, what you're seeing at this point of a time, oversupply situation. Otherwise, we don't see any kind of an oversupply situation for a longer period of time. So new capacity has to come in.
Got it. And currently in China, the incremental 2 million ton which was supposed to come in December, has the ramping up started, or how was the scenario?
They've already started. Yeah, they've already started the volume. The 3 lines is already operational. But the demand into the solar and the lithium carbonate is exponentially has happened, and because of that, the overall, in spite of the people say world says that globally the demand is down, but in China the demand growth is around 7 to 8% in 9 months period, and the moment the real estate picks up again, which is at this point of time is underplaying. If that recovery of the real estate happens, then this growth of 7 to 8% can go much more, and that will kind of and therefore what we globally realize is that China is not likely to be a major player into the global trade of soda ash.
Right. What would be the next portion of 2 million ton which would come for Inner Mongolia? When would that be?
I think that will happen in 24 and onwards. And right now we don't have a timeline on that. They have just started that process. That may take around 12 to 18 months time, as per our information.
That will be phase 2, right?
Yes, phase 2.
Phase 2 for Inner Mongolia, and that would also be total 4 million capacity, right?
Yes.
Got it. Also, in terms of our greenfield capacity, which we are setting up, what are the kind of hindrances we are finding it right now? Like, where is it stuck?
No, these are all basically the government approvals. And those government approvals require some kind of sometime the process takes longer time, and that is what it is not something which stuck. Stuck is not the right word. I would say it is taking more time.
If I'm right, it will take 2.5 years from the day we get all approvals, right?
Yes, you are right on that.
And for sodium bicarbonate, what kind of capacity utilization did we see for the quarter?
I think we have very valid question you asked about this sodium bicarbonate. Now we are seeing that fraction of usage of the sodium bicarbonate into the flue gas treatment. And if you look at in the current month, which is current month just passed on January, our utilization was something around 75 to 80%, which was originally used to be around 57-58%. So there is a kind of an upsurge has been seen into the demand of sodium bicarbonate by the flue gas treatment. And a lot of new investments are coming into the flue gas treatment. NTPC alone are having on 2 locations. They have already started. There are many other locations they are setting up the infrastructure. Same way, private players are also setting up. So a lot of investments are happening on the flue gas treatment. Even by the private companies also are doing it. So probably in the next few quarters you will see a full utilization of the sodium bicarbonate going forward. Frankly speaking, we are looking at a possibility of can we increase the further production into the sodium bicarbonate at the current location.
Right. So entire this will be on our increased capacity, like 120,000 tons.
Yes, currently we have 120,000 tons, which we are seeing that possibility by doing some small debottlenecking can be increased to 200,000 kind of a number. Currently, at this point of a time, we are exploring that possibility.
Sure. And what would be the kind of revenues or margins which we are doing in the sodium bicarbonate?
See, margin, if you look at in terms of sodium bicarbonate, will be in the same range of around 30%, 27 to 30% kind of a range should be there on the sodium bicarbonate.
Got it. And revenue currently, what would be the revenue coming from that?
I don't have a
We just
specific number. Yeah, I don't have a specific number on that. The revenue, separate revenue number.
Percentage of the total revenue will also do.
No, you can just calculate that out of my total 100,000 tons of the soda ash.
Got it.
So you have a 7.5% kind of a number is coming from there.
10.5% of the total revenue. No?
Yeah.
Coming to the cost side of it, this quarter we saw an incremental rise in the raw material prices. So where was this coming from? Is this just related to the shutdown which happened and basically higher fixed cost which could not get allocated, or there is actually an increase in the raw material prices?
Oh, yeah, this is primarily because of the lower production and because in the annual shutdown a lot of stores and maintenance cost and are required. Even there, some of the semi-variable cost per ton goes up because of shutdown in a particular month. Otherwise, the costs are on the downward trend.
So for
you will
going
see that
forward
in the next quarter.
Q4 onwards, do we expect a 5% reduction in the cost overall?
See, percentage again very difficult at this point of a time, but yes, definitely in spite of the soda ash prices may soften from here because of now all the new contracts are getting implemented, and so because of that, still we will be able to maintain the margin at the same level, and that is primarily because of the cost reduction which will happen in the next quarter.
Cost reductions would happen in the next quarter. Also coming to the EBITDA per ton, so what would be a break-even realization for us at the current cost level?
No, it's far off. Our EBITDA margin, Riyaz, if you can look at our numbers, you will find that my fixed cost is not a very significant amount, and because of that, the break-even is far. We are far ahead of the break-even.
But on a per ton basis, what would be the fixed cost?
Maybe around 2,000, 2,500 rupees kind of a number. Yeah.
So, and total cost?
Very difficult, Riya, at this point of a time. Total cost to calculate and give you. Maybe offline we'll give you.
Okay. Got it. And so over a period of the last 5 to 6 quarters, we have seen a significant reduction in your employee cost also. So have we rationalized it to the maximum, or do we see a further scope in reduction?
No, personally, I don't think there is any big opportunity into the reduction of the manpower cost. Of course, we'll continue to look at the various opportunity in all the areas of cost reduction, but a significant opportunity we don't see in that area.
Got it. That's it from my side. I'll join the queue for further questions.
Thank you, Riya.
Thank you. The next question is on the line of Rohit Nagraj from Centrum Broking. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, thank you. So first question is in terms of the domestic demand. So which are the pockets you are seeing subdued demand, or how is the environment across different sectors in domestic market?
Yeah, Rohit, if I can say, look at sector by sector. In the glass, I would say that because of some import of glass is happening, and because of that, there is of course the demand, the growth is there in the glass sector, but because of import of glass is also happening. Because of that, the glass industries are under some pressure. That is number one. On the detergent side, I would say that demands are good. Actually, recently I had a meeting with one of the big players, a big consumer of soda ash into the glass, into the detergent. They are very optimistic of a demand growth of around 4 to 5%, and that is kind of a continuing. And particularly here, the smaller players are playing a major role. A lot of conversions are happening from a soap or to the detergent, or the bar to the detergent. So I would say detergent is doing good. Chemical also, because of some import which is coming, and as you know that the chemical industry is passing through a difficult time. So consumption in the chemical sector is also somewhere getting impacted in terms of the demand. If I come back to now on some of the silicate manufacturers and things like that, there, because of some conversion or the very cheap price of caustic soda, some conversion has taken place into the caustic soda side, and because of that also some demand of soda ash on that sector is slightly under. In spite of all these things, still the soda ash demand has grown by 2%. Had this situation would have not been there, probably the demand would have been around 5 to 6%, because some improvement in the demand has happened in the solar glass side. In India, some new players had come in, and because of that, demand growth is seen there. So in this 9 months, the demand growth in India is around 2%.
Sure, sir. That helps. So second question in terms of the exports from Turkey. So are there any incremental capacities or incremental debottlenecking that has happened, or just that earlier the exports were routed across different geographies, including Europe, and the demand from Europe is lower, so it is getting directed? So just your thoughts on this. Thank you.
No, you're right, Rohit. Two things, both the things have happened. On one side, they have increased the marginal capacity into their production. However, the major impact which is coming only because of the Europe demand has gone down.
Right. Sir, and one just last question on the Greenfield project. So if we get approval in the next 6 months, by FY27 end, our projects will be up and running. Is that a fair assumption?
I think so, yes, Rohit. I completely agree with you that once we get this approval in next few months, after that 2.5 years kind of a number should be there. So, and surely, because we are, see, on one side what we are doing is we are not only waiting for these approvals. On one side we are working on these approvals. On the other side we have already started a lot of work. Detailing, basic engineering is already awarded. The work is almost completed. Detailed engineering, we have identified the vendors. We have identified the equipment vendors also. We have identified the technological partner also. Lot of things we have already done. Like we have to put the pipeline. So we have identified who will be doing a more or less kind of situation where the moment we get an approval, we can award the contract. We are kind of a situation where we are ready with everything. Just we have to blast when the approval comes.
Absolutely. Sir, and the MOU that we have signed with Gujarat government, is there any timeline that he has given, or once the Greenfield project is completed, we will start with the next phase?
See, this investment which we have signed into the Gujarat government is primarily to add on the capacity of the Greenfield project from 500,000 ton to 1.1 million ton, right? And there we have given a timeline. This will be in the phase 2. First phase, like you said, 27 we will complete, and the second phase we will start after that, and maybe once this project gets closer to the kind of starting, we will start working on that. And the next 2 years we will be trying to complete that project. By 29, probably we will be completing both these projects. And obviously we will be getting some benefits, or I would say some subsidy or some benefit from the government of Gujarat on both these accounts once we implement the project.
Sure, sir. That's really helpful. Thanks a lot, and best of luck.
Thank you, Rohit.
Thank you. The next question is on the line of Jainam Gilani from Swan Investments. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. So just wanted to understand that in your opening remarks, you indicated that the domestic market import is almost around 100,000 ton and requirement is 60,000 ton. So just want to understand how is the domestic demand in terms from the detergent market and the greener initiatives which we used to indicate in the previous call, and what are the current realization as compared to the exit run rate of the last quarter?
See, 2 things. One, like I said, the import is more than what it should be, and because of that, the prices are under pressure. On the other side, I also said that the demand growth in India is in 9 months is around 2%. And of course, some of the volume, some of the competition has also kind of their volume is lower. So keeping that into mind, and some inventory built up is also happening into the system. And many of, including us, we are also exporting a larger volume to the export market, like a nearby market. So this is what the scenario is happening. And in terms of the pricing, as I mentioned to you, prices are, as compared to last quarter, I would say that the prices are down by almost around 7 to 9%. And again, I want to highlight that the likely prices further reduction will be there in the next quarter. However, because of the selling price, because of the cost advantage, probably we will be able to maintain the margin at a similar level in the next quarter.
So, sir, that means you mean to say that whatever the cost saving that we will be having, in addition to the operating leverage of the 20,000 ton that we lost during the last quarter, the impact that will get nullified by the cost savings of near about in the power and fuel cost, right?
Yes, that's right.
So, sir, if you can help us, what was the coal cost consumption in Q?
Sorry, your voice has gone. Sorry, we can't hear you.
What was the coal cost consumption in Q3 and in Q4, and what was it in Q4?
The coal consumption percentage remains the same. I don't think the coal consumption changes, only except, like I said, in terms of the tonnage, if you are talking about. Pricing, I don't have it right now, there's readily number on that. But like I said, including all costs put together, we will be able to maintain the similar kind of a margin going forward.
But sir, given the industry trend that we are seeing, and probably even you are guiding that the current range of the margin of 18 or 22% will likely to remain in for next couple of quarters. So just wanted to understand the broader view, probably by end of FY25, 26, as per your interaction with the industry players, how do we see the growth kicking in, so that at the end of the day, demand supply get balanced and we might see a margin going back to 27-28%?
See, if I can give you a larger picture on this, probably based on our understanding or my understanding, generally our margin historically has been in the range of around 28-30%. If you look at slightly longer term average, okay, last year you have seen our margin has gone to 36-37% also, right? But prior to that, if you look at, you will find that similar kind of a margin on a longer term basis. So my expectation is this kind of a margin should come back in a year's time. Of course, in this volatile market, geopolitical situation which you understand, something with a certainty cannot be said. But the way we are looking at the business, the way we are looking at the global demand and supply situation, hopefully 24, 25 end, probably the third or fourth quarter, improvement will start looking into. And probably 25, 26 definitely should be there. Because we have a very rationale behind it. Without this kind of a margin, a long-term investment into this business cannot happen. And therefore, this kind of a margins are must for a new capacity or new supply to come into the business. And everybody, when they are putting the money into the business, they are expecting that this margin will be coming. And therefore, this margin will likely to come.
Sure. So last question, as you indicated that the current price of soda is 7 to 9% lower than the exit run rate of Q3. I mean, as an industry, are we anticipating further cut in month of February, March, or probably you see that prices should somewhere over around this level given the current demand scenario?
No, I said to you that we don't see any further price reduction into the soda business at this point of a time. But surely some of the contract which was earlier done at a higher price, now that they are getting renegotiated and things like that, and that will have some impact onto the pricing also. So overall, if you look at realization per ton, we'll definitely have a lower realization in the fourth quarter as well. However, that will get compensated by the cost reduction also.
Sure, sir. That's all from my side. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is on the line of Hardik Mehta from Shree Stock Vision. Please go ahead. Mr. Hardik, your line is in the talk mode. Please go ahead. Mr. Hardik Mehta, your line is in the talk mode. Please go ahead. There seems to be no response from the current participant. We'll move on to the next question. That is on the line of Riya Mehta from Equitas Investments. Please go ahead.
Thank you for giving me the follow-up opportunity. My question is, what was the generally European market? How much was the import demand for European market? And how much decrease are we seeing in there?
Riya, sorry, I don't have a specific number on that. So therefore, I will not be able to give you a correct number on that.
And a few months back, we were seeing some consolidation which was happening in China. A few players shut their shops. So are we seeing that continuation of the trends somewhere globally?
Yeah, definitely, Riya, that will have a consolidation, but it will take some time. You see, basically in China, what will happen is, some of the small players, they will either shut their doors, and the new capacity, which, like you say, you have seen, which has come in Inner Mongolia. So smaller capacity plants will get closed because they are very Chinese governments are very sensitive about the environment, and therefore all those plants which are between the cities, synthetic based soda ash plant. Probably gradually they will be able to but of course it will take some time. And I think one of the things which our understanding based on the global input which we are getting from the Global Soda Ash Conference, the China in a longer run they've taken a decision that they would not like to be a world supplier of soda ash, and therefore they would like to have, of course in the short term this could happen, but in the long run they would not like to be a supplier of soda ash to the world, and therefore they will produce as much as which is required for their own country.
Got it. Thank you. That's it from my side.
Thank you. The next question is on the line of Saket Kapoor from Kapoor Company. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Dhanyavad, sir. Sir, as you were mentioning about the greenfield project, my line was dropped, sir. So are we also getting any tax rebate for setting up of this new greenfield complex?
No, the government of Gujarat has certain policies of investments, which we will be getting that benefit of that. Of course, we will apply for that and we'll get that. There's not a tax benefit. That's more on the GST side, more on the power side, and things like that.
Right, sir. And you have been alluding to this fact that the requirement domestically will go up from 4 million to 6 million going ahead, and major thrust will be from the solar capacity. So taking that into account, sir, how are the things shaping up for the production of these solar panels? How are the lines set up? What is the ground reality in terms of the new capacity coming up and then the incremental demand from the renewable segment kicking in?
See, two things, Sakeji. On one side, even if you take the basic requirement, which we call it essential demand, like your detergent, normal glass, the way the urbanization in India is happening, the way the uses of the glass which is happening into the normal buildings as compared to the last. And historically, you have seen soda ash demand has gone up by around 5% on an average. If I take that number alone, that gives you kind of a number of every year you require something around 200,000 tons of extra volume. That's number one. Now, in terms of the solar, I think a lot of new investments. You must have heard many major players. Government of India has given PLMI scheme also into this, and a lot of land has also been allotted in Gujarat on the wasteland for